Hi there and welcome to the recently reopened Witchfinder's Gaming Vault. This will be my first review from this series in over 4.5 years. If you want to look back on all the videos I did before, I've done about 40 videos of various different types of game from different systems, and they're available on playlists on my YouTube homepage. So for this video I'm going to be looking at a Commodore 64 game, and it's called Moby Dick. There it is. And we'll take a look at that packaging in more detail in a moment. Now, if you don't recall what I did in these type of videos, I always did a little fact file for each game I'm reviewing. So let's take a look at the fact file for this game now. Moby Dick was released in 1983. It's a European release game published by PSS, Personal Software Services, and developed by Symbol Software. And the price I paid for this was absolutely nothing, because I picked it up at Play Blackpool in October last year. I was given it by the guys on Console Passion, their stall. I was looking through a box full of Commodore 64 games they had, picked this one out and thought it looked interesting, and they just said I could take it, so thanks very much guys for that. The going rate for this game on eBay, if you want to buy your own copy, there's not been any recent completed items that have sold, but there are a few copies available for sale. It seems to go from £4 to £10, so let's say £5 should get you a copy of this game if you're interested in it. So what I usually do for my videos is play the game before I start recording, so I know what I'm doing in the game, but on this one I've never even loaded it up before. It may not even load, so this will be a genuine first time play of this game. So let's take a look at the packaging, load it up and see what it's like. Okay, so let's get started and look at the packaging as I always do in my videos, and this is a nice clamshell style design packaging. I do like this kind of packaging. I don't have many games in it for the Commodore 64, but it does look nice when it's in good condition. What you do tend to find with a lot of these is that the inlay at the top kind of gets worn away and it starts to look a bit tatty. Not much of that on this one, so that's nice. So the front cover, it's got the big PSS logo, which as I said stands for Personal Software Services. And the Moby Dick logo at the bottom there, arcade action for Commodore 64, and a pretty nice picture, very simplistic to be honest, but you've got the boat there throwing some depth charges overboard. You've got a sad looking whale there, really sad looking, but very nicely drawn, and also there's a helicopter there. The spine, pretty simple but nicely presented. This looks like it's game number 31 from PSS. I've never seen any other games from them, so don't know what else they did. And then on the back you've got the object of this game is to blow up submarines, destroy the helicopter and catch the falling pilot, but do not kill the whale. To blow up the submarines, the player uses his or her depth charges. Only 2 depth charges are allowed at once. To shoot down the helicopter, the player may release the anti-aircraft missile. If the player destroys the helicopter, they must rush to catch the falling pilot so that they fall on board the ship. And if the player hits the whale with a depth charge, his or her ship will be destroyed by a green ship that will appear and ram his or her ship. I love how they've done the whole his or her rather than just your. And then you've got the PSS logo at the bottom there, and also it says produced in association with Symbol Software Limited. And at the bottom there it says this was a 1982 game, but elsewhere it says 1983, so I think I'm right on the 1983 year for it. So for this one I wanted to show exactly what it looks like inside, how it's all put together, and as you can see the cassette's in a normal kind of case inside the packaging there, sort of nestles inside it. I'll pull that out so you can see, kind of nestles inside that half, and there's the tape. It's a red tape that says Moby Dick on it, nothing too spectacular about that. Get that loaded up in a second. So let's move on to the instructions, wherever they've gone. Here we go. And pretty modest sort of packaging or presentation for these. Moby Dick arcade action is basically just a repeat of what was on the cover, so let's move in and have a look. It's got the loading instructions as you'd expect, very detailed. The screen will go blank for 15 seconds and then display the searching found. After a few seconds the screen will go blank and the tape will restart, and loading will take a few minutes. Very detailed. Obviously this is very early days for the Commodore 64, so people might not be knowing exactly what to expect when they're loading games. Joystick input 2, and then it gives you all the instructions for the controls. 5 ships per player, tells you how to blow up the submarines, the helicopter. If the player hits the whale with a depth charge, his or her ship will be destroyed by a green ship that will appear and ram his or her ship. Very much keeping with the his or her, making it fair for males and females. Yeah, so anything more on the back? Yeah, we've got some wave levels that tells you what happens with the enemies for different waves, and the scoring. First submarine 100 points, second submarine 200 points, helicopter, pilots, floating mines, tracking missiles. So it looks like you get the most points for picking up those pilots that fall out of the helicopters. 250 or 500 points. I guess that depends on what level you're on. So there we go, that was the packaging. Load up the game now and see what it's like. Right then, so after sitting watching a blank blue screen for about 10 minutes and wondering whether this thing was actually going to load, it has loaded, and here's a title screen, and it's still very blue. We've got dark blue at the top representing the sky with some clouds in it. You can see the little boat on the left hand side there on some very choppy water. That's really fierce waves there. And then the lower half of the screen representing the sea is a pale blue, classic Commodore background blue you might say. And it says press any key to start, copyright 1983 Symbol Software Incorporated, and the name of the game at the top there, Moby Dick, which we knew already. So first ever time playing this game, let's see how we get on. So I've pressed the key to start, not sure why I can't press the fire button, and we're on mission 1. So my boat is the white boat, and that's moving across the screen by itself. Okay, so you can't move left and right. Oh dear, I've got blown up straight away by that helicopter. So when I push left, the boat's slowing down, and when I push right, it's speeding up. So that was surprising. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to be able to just move backwards and forwards across the water. So let's drop a depth charge and try and get one of these. Oh, I've dropped 2 depth charges. Oh, there you go. I got it at least. So it somewhat resembles the arcade game Depth Charge, which was ported to the Commodore 64 as well. I think I've not played it on that, but there you go. So yeah, we've got 2 submarines going across the bottom of the screen. I can only drop 2 depth charges, and it seems to drop them both at the same time. Let's try and see if I can just tap the button and just drop one. Nope. Oh, got it though. Okay, so yeah, we've got 2 submarines going across the bottom of the screen, and the whale, which I'm not supposed to hit with the depth charges. And we've got a helicopter going across the top of the screen, which is dropping bombs on me. Let's try and shoot that. So I've got push up for a... Yeah, there we go. Oh, got it. Okay, so let's get that. Try and get that pilot out of it. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. So that's going to be challenging, because it looks like you're going to have to dash the whole width of the screen to capture a pilot if you manage to shoot the helicopter down. Oh, there we go. Let's give this another go. Oh no, I didn't make it. Okay. Yeah, that's... I guess what you're going to have to do is fire, hope you hit it, and then just set off straight away. So let's give that a try. At the moment the submarines aren't firing up at me, so it's not too difficult. I've just got to avoid the bombs from the helicopter. Nope, missed it again. Okay. Let's try and drop some depth charges. Okay, so you can drop one. It's just very twitchy on the fire button, and you can't... Generally it'll just drop 2 because any sort of press down the fire button, it seems to register as 2 drops of the depth charge. There we go, I managed to drop 2 separate again now. I'm getting to grips with the controls. So let's have another go at trying to get this. Oh no, that's not going to work that time around. So it's very simplistic in terms of the graphics, just single colour sprites. It's sort of the thing you might expect for 1983 on the Commodore 64, to be honest. Alright, I've got the... oh, I might catch it this time. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I've managed to get the pilot. I don't know why I'm shooting down a helicopter and then rescuing the pilot. That seems a bit contradictory, but there you go. I'm also a bit puzzled really why it's called Moby Dick, because Moby Dick, the story, I've never read it, but I'm pretty sure it's about people trying to catch a whale, whereas in this game, if you kill the whale, then you lose a life. So interesting. I'm not really sure why I decided to call it that, but there you go. So far I've not even come close to hitting the whale. I'm sure it will happen sooner or later. It's very hard to focus on one thing or both things at the same time, so I'm either trying to get the helicopter or I'm trying to get the submarines. I'm not really managing to do both very well. No, missed that again. That's very hard. You've literally got to fire the bullet up, the anti-aircraft bullet. I assume I can only fire one of those at a time. Yeah. So yeah, you've just got to kind of fire it up, hope it's going to get the helicopter, which it has done on this occasion, and then frantically dash across the screen. Nope, missed it again. That really is very difficult. I guess that's why you get the most points for rescuing the pilots. Let's try and drop some depth charges again, because I've done nothing with that yet, really. Oh, it's a good job that... Oh, okay, I'm on mission 2 now. What's different? Okay, one of the submarines is now firing missiles up at me as well. Are they missiles? Torpedoes? I'm not sure what you would call them. The instructions probably tell me, but I can't remember what they said now. See, there's just no way this is going to get more difficult, even more so now, because of those things being fired up. Oh! Yeah, there's a lot going on now. I say a lot going on, there's not really a lot going on. It's quite a simple and repetitive sort of a game. But now if I'm dashing along here, suddenly I've got to slow down so that I don't run into those things, let's call them torpedoes, being fired up. And again, I've got no chance of getting the falling parachutist there because of the things dropping down from... Oh, there goes another life. So yeah, I wouldn't say it becomes frantic, but it becomes a little bit more complicated in trying to get the certainly get the helicopter and negotiate your way past the different things that are being thrown at you. Oh, I hit the whale. So now I'm stuck and there's a green boat coming towards me. And yeah, what happens now? I guess I've just got to wait for the green boat to go past. That's tedious. Okay, let's try and focus a little bit more on trying to shoot some of these things successfully. Go, 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 go. Am I going to make it? I think I'm going to make it. I have made it, and I didn't get killed by the mines or whatever they are coming up from the bottom of the sea, so all good stuff. Yeah, the submarine's quite difficult to get, especially when the whale's in the vicinity as well. Yeah, this has become a more challenging game since we got to the second mission. But again, I think you've just got to sort of work out your sort of timing. Right, let's see if we can get this thing. Oh, it's going to be close, and now I'm worried about those things hitting me, but oh, I've managed to avoid them. Okay, so yeah, still struggling to do both dropping the depth charges and shooting the helicopter thing. That's proving quite difficult for me to do. It shouldn't do. I've played way more complicated games than this, but nonetheless, that is what's happening. It's a bit annoying that it's really difficult to just drop the one depth charge. I managed to do it that time though. Oh, so yeah. Looks like the collision detection is not great in terms of the depth charges can hit the submarines quite easily when they just go straight past them, but maybe that's how depth charges work, I don't know. That was interesting. The torpedoes coming up the screen there just seem to disappear before they reach the surface. Didn't help me in any way, didn't score any points off the back of that happening, so... Oh yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward, pretty tedious to be honest. It's not an amazing game. I guess it's one of those games you play for a little bit for a high score type challenge. It's fairly unique. I can't think of a game other than Depth Charge which is similar but definitely not the same, because that's all about just hitting the submarines and reaching like a quota of points before you move on to the next level. So I'm gonna get that one. Yeah. So it's a little bit different to Depth Charge, but I would say it's definitely influenced by it. Oh, I got them both that time. Oh, and I'm on to mission 3 now. I've hit 6,000 points. And what's different now? Nothing obvious right now. Everything's moving a bit faster. Oh my god, there's like a homing torpedo there from one of those two boats. I'm now struggling just to avoid things. Oh, what happened there? What? I don't know what killed me then. That was strange. It must have been the ones coming from the bottom of the sea, but I couldn't really work that out there. I looked like I was clean through on getting the helicopter pilot. Oh, that's close as well. Oh no, I've hit the whale. That didn't look like I'd hit the whale either. A bit dubious about the collision detection on this game, to be honest. And I think that's it. That's probably game over. I'm not really sure what happened on those last two lives. I thought I'd timed everything reasonably well, but apparently not. And that is game over. So I got 6,460 points. Is there any point playing it again?
Probably not. I think I've seen all I'm going to see. I might get a little bit further, but the strategy is fairly simple. It's shoot the things at the top and try and then dash along and rescue the pilots. Why you want to rescue a pilot from a helicopter you've just shot, I don't know. And also try and drop the depth charges on the submarines, which I keep forgetting about because frankly there's more points to be got from getting the helicopter and the pilots anyway. So a bit of dodging fire as well from time to time. Very straightforward game, very simplistic graphics, sounds pretty basic as well. You just got some helicopter noises and some explosions. The whale is an interesting aspect to it, I suppose, but it largely can be ignored, although I did hit it twice and got hit by the green boat. Is that Greenpeace? Is that what that was supposed to be about? The sort of environmentally friendly thing? Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, there you go. That's the first game review for Witchfinder's Gaming Vault being reopened. So as for the decision as to whether to keep or sell, well, it didn't cost me any money. It was a gift anyway, and it's a fairly simplistic game, but it is somewhat playable, and I do like the packaging, so yeah, I'll keep it. So there you go, that's it for this one. Let me know in the video comments your thoughts about this game. Have you played it before? Does it get any more complex than what I've seen if you play it for longer, or is that about it? So that'll be it for this game review. Now it's time to choose the next game I'm going to play in this series.
Right then, so as I said in my relaunch video a couple of weeks ago, I'm going to be picking a game at random from this tin to decide which game to play next in Witchfinder's Gaming Vault. So let's pick one out and see what I get. There's a variety of systems and games in here, 19 at the moment, having just played one of the original 20. And the game I've just picked out is Kettle, which is another Commodore 64 game. That's a game I played when I was a kid. I bought it years ago, but I've never played it since I bought it again. I did play it when I was a kid, so we'll take a look at that next time around. Thanks very much for watching this video. Let me know in the video comments if you've got any thoughts about the game I just reviewed, and see you next time.